we go.
Look
I
at
can
that
see
sweet
it.
face.
Hang on,
Now we got you.
are we getting close? All right.
Yeah, we're there.
Yep.
All right. Do you have my
Woo, woo.
how to love your skin in Colorado slide?
Yep.
Yes.
Can we just have a little party right now?
Woohoo.
All right. I always say I'm not great at technology, but I'm really good when it comes to science and skincare. So we can't be good at everything. So my name's Ann Mattingly-Lowe, and I'm the founder and owner of Generation Skincare. I want to say thank you for having me. I love nothing more than to educate people about skin. And okay, it's like my gene. Real quick, I guess before I get into all this, my husband Jeff and I moved to Colorado about 5 years ago from Missouri. So my skin, you from Missouri, Rachel? Can't hear you, but um so yeah, only reason I tell you this is because it's super humid there. And when I got to Colorado, my skin was very unhappy very, very quickly. And at the same time, I was going through menopause. And that makes everything in life worse when it comes to life in your skin. Seriously, it affects your elasticity and all kinds of things. So immediately the thing that I noticed is I started developing a bunch of sunspots, which hyperpigmentation.
Oops, I'm on a meeting.
Hi, Denise. And and really dry skin and the spots. So I had a little bit of background about me. I had worked in the pharmaceutical industry for almost 30 years and retired at 53 when we moved out to Colorado. And I have a big extensive science background and had been just for fun making my skincare products for years. I would go to like medical spas and place doctor's offices, and they'd show me their products, and I started kind of knocking them off because I'm like, well, that's really expensive. I could do this a lot more affordably. Well, then when we got to Colorado, one of my nieces, Teresa, who she's like my daughter, was completing her dermatology residency, and we were talking, and I said, "Oh my gosh, Teresa, the weather out here is so different. I don't know what to do, but my skin is just not happy. I feel like I've aged like 5 years in about 3 months." So we got together and started experimenting about with different types of active ingredients. So this is how it all started. It's just a hobby. And my husband and I got married 4 years ago. So I gave out like a sample of one of my products at the wedding. So I had no intention of forming a company. So this is what you call a hobby that went rogue, especially during COVID. So between my nerdiness in the lab and my niece's knowledge about what the active ingredients are that they typically recommend in the dermatology offices and med spas, I got bored during COVID and we decided to go ahead and form a company. So she's our medical consultant and I'm the founder. So that's just a little bit about me. And I'm trying to get my little thing in the right spot. So one of the things I tell people, because a lot of times when they see my signs, they think I'm a multi-level marketing company. I'm like, no, I'm the founder and the owner of this company. And we do carefully source the best ingredients we can find, and we handcraft high quality skincare products in small batches in conifer. So we're conifer made. We're manufactured and distributed in conifer. We do it all ourselves right now. And what's exciting is our business has really blown up. So we're primarily online, but last year I did open a little shop slash office, and it's in the same building as Snowpack. So we do have a presence. I'm by appointment only because I can't be working retail all day and doing all this other stuff. And right now we're in Florida because most of the way we get new customers is through shows. So like little festivals on the weekend. We do those, and it's kind of cold in Colorado. So we've figured out it's a good way to be snowbirds and come down to Florida for a while and do shows on the weekends, and I can still ship from the road. We will be home next week to make products for like a week, and then we'll be back down here, and then we'll be back for good for the rest of the year in April. So that's our crazy lives. So y'all know this, but I'm just going to remind you, we live in one of the toughest places ever for skin. Okay. The odds are stacked against us, but if we take care of it, I've got some tips for you later today. Obviously it's super dry here. We have like Zippo humidity, and humidity is good for your skin. Okay. The high altitude, the thin air really increases our UV exposure. So we get a lot of direct sun. I tell everybody here in Florida, they're like, oh, it's so much sun here. I said, guess what? We got just as much sun in Colorado, and it's a lot thinner air. So it's tougher sun. We have like, we all know we have over 300 days of sun a year. And even in the snow, doesn't matter how cold it is, it reflects off. So you always have to wear a sunscreen, right? So we get the UVA, UVB rays. We've got extreme temperatures. And whoops, did not mean to do that. And obviously I got to move this bar. I am so sorry. There we go. Now I can see. So forgive my little AV problems. So basically everything we have in Colorado makes it tough. So I get asked a lot, and you can interrupt me anytime you want, or give me a holla. I get asked, does dry skin cause wrinkles? Right? What certainly doesn't make it any better. Okay. What it does is it exaggerates them. So the cause of wrinkles has more to do with aging. So as we get older, our skin gets thinner, especially that outer layer, which is the epidermis. It's also called the stratus corneum. And so our skin starts to look more thin and jaggedy. And my goal is to help you thicken it and to get you to turn it over faster. But lack of collagen causes wrinkles to form. So y'all know, once we hit the age of about 28 to 30, all the good things that our body makes, we start to make less of it. So we start to make less hyaluronic acid, less collagen, less elastin, all the stuff. Doesn't mean it's gone. We just don't make as much of it. So we'll talk about how to increase that as well. So dehydration lines aren't a result of aging. They're caused by what we just talked about, the external elements, the dry climate, and things like not a good diet and lifestyle, right? Not drinking enough water. I'm guilty of the coffee and wine, I'll admit it. And your skin can be oily but still dehydrated, because a lot of people will insist, I have oily skin, so I don't need to hydrate. You actually need to hydrate more because your pores are clogged. So what we want to do is teach you how to hydrate your skin in a way that doesn't make your skin oily, if that makes sense. So I hear a lot that people have dry, sensitive skin. And when you have dry skin, it definitely becomes more sensitive. It's kind of almost, that chapped feeling you get. So the more that we hydrate it, the better it's going to feel. Now my slide does not want to go forward. So hold on a second. Sorry. All right. So here's like a little pictorial, which the cartoon people make it a little easier. So you'll notice how we tend to age. And I specifically notice when I'm 58, almost 59, but I notice once we hit a certain age, it happens between here and here. Have y'all noticed that? It's like, right? So like, especially between like the nasolabial folds around the mouth, the jowls, I woke up with chicken neck like about 4 years ago. I'm like, when did I get chicken neck? It's just a natural part of aging. It's like gravity sort of makes us just kind of, So we'll talk about that, but this is typically what happens to us. So we have our company's called Generation Skincare for a reason. We've got teenagers to, like at a show last weekend, I just had another 83-year-old start our products. We have probably about 25 octogenaries and everybody in between. Because at the end of the day, it's about skin health. Everybody likes to look better and more youthful, and that's great, right? But we really want to talk about, skin health. So when you see somebody and they got that nice glow, it's an indicator of overall skin health and how your body's feeling. So it's a lot easier to protect it while you can, but it's never ever too late to make your skin healthier. That's why we have so many 80-year-olds that use our products too, because you got to take care of your skin. So this is one of my favorite customers. Her name's Anita. She's 88 years young. At the time of photo, she was 86. And she really takes care of herself. And she discovered she could paint when she was in her early 80s. And that photo down in the left-hand corner is actually my husband and I at a Cardinal baseball game, because we're from St. Louis. And I think she's really talented. So I always want to, just remind us that no matter what our age is, we still have talents, and it's not too late to take care of ourselves, right? So for the people that say, oh, I don't care about my skin, I'm just going to be old, blah, blah, blah. If I have to scare you straight, that is what I will do. So it's really no joke, right? It's not just about vanity. 1 in 5 people are going to develop skin cancer in their lifetimes. I'll bet many of you have already had Mohs surgery and have had skin cancer removed. We can work on this, right? There are things you can do. But if you do see anything that looks like any of these photos, get to the dermatologist. The one on the left, the basal cell, is the easiest to treat and the least likely to spread. The squamous is also easily treated if you get it early, but it is more likely to spread than the basal cell. And if you got melanoma, that's the most serious, right? We hope you catch it early and it spreads easily. Everything's treatable, but I think the best thing we can do is prevent. I always tell people the best spot is one you don't get. So if we can prevent the sunspots and fade them, we're potentially preventing skin cancer. So it's kind of a big deal. Everybody down for skin school? We're going to go to skin school for a little bit because the more that you know, the more you'll understand. So the skin is an organ. It's your largest organ. And it, in my opinion, is one of your most important organs. It's about 15% of your body weight. So think about this. You know how they show those people that used to weigh like 600 pounds in those big pants, and then they're like, 150? They still got 15% of the, they still got 90 pounds, a lot of skin weight. So that skin is still there, right? But it's a lot of your body. Primary job of the skin is to act as a barrier, right? So it protects your skin. It protects, is the protector for everything going in and out of your body. So it controls your temperature, bacteria, chemicals, everything. The blood vessels in your skin help regulate body temperature. That's where, your body uses sunlight to make vitamin D. So what I want to do today is make you understand or help you understand what your skin structure looks like so that maybe it'll make sense on how we want to take care of it better. Okay. So the skin has a ton of layers, but I like to make it super easy. So we're only going to talk about 3. So those of you that are smarty pantses, and you know way more than me, there's a bunch of layers, but we're going to just dumb it down to 3. So outer layer is the epidermis. That's what we see. So that's what everybody thinks they care about. And it is very important because it protects everything that goes in and out of your body, right? The second layer is the dermis. That is the most important part of your skin. It's the middle layer. It's 10 times thicker than the epidermis. And that's where it's all happening. We'll talk into detail about that in a minute, but all the good stuff is happening at the dermal level. Hypodermis, we're getting down to muscle tissue, right? It's mainly fat cells. So the top 2 layers are the most important layers, the epidermis and the dermis. So the epidermis, like I said, we have the protective barrier. It's regulating all the water that goes in and out of your body. It's where melanin or your pigment is produced. It's where our older skin cells flake off and we push that top layer off. And then those younger, newer skin cells from the basal layer, they pop through. The dermis, if nothing else today, I want you to leave here knowing that we got to take care of our dermis. That's where it's all happening. You can't see it, but it's the most important layer of skin. Okay, that's where our bodies make collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid. That's where a lot of our water is, our oil glands. So it's happening at that second layer of skin, which is called the dermis. So we're going to talk about some of the elements of the matrix. So outer layer first, keratin. Right? That's the big protein that makes up the outer layer of the skin. And that's in the epidermis, right? Lipids. So lipophilic cell membranes are made of lipids, right? That's that mortar that helps lock in all of our moisture and bind our cells together, again, in the epidermis. Now let's get down to the dermis. Everybody's heard of hyaluronic acid, right? Our bodies make it. So that is a big deal. That's what maintains our skin hydration. It's what supports collagen. Again, it's found in the dermis, which is 10 times thicker than the epidermis. I don't know about y'all, but we want all the hyaluronic acid we can get in our bodies. It is the most powerful humectant out there. Our bodies make it, but we can also take it internally. We can provide it topically, talk a little bit more about that, but we want to increase those hyaluronic acid levels. Elastin. Okay, that's another protein, and it helps with our elasticity, right? We tend to lose some of that too as we age. I notice that especially during menopause. So we want our skin to bounce back the way it used to. So that also is in the dermis. Collagen. So, sorry, collagen is a long amino acid chain that makes up the majority of protein found in the dermis. Again, we're decreasing collagen production as we age. Doesn't mean it's gone, just means we're making less. We decrease about 1 to 2% a year after the age of about 28, 29, 30. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm taking the collagen supplements. Quick fun fact, you cannot apply collagen topically. I mean, you can, but it's not going to absorb. The molecules are too big, so they're just going to sit on the surface. So I have some tips for that as well. Peptides are my new best friend, okay? They are very, very expensive, but I mean, when you apply them topically, our bodies do make them. Oh, again, the hyaluronic acid, elastin, collagen, all in the dermis. Peptides are in the epidermis and the dermis. They're amino acid chains. They're short. They're building blocks of proteins, and they're very youthful producing, right? When we apply them topically, they signal, and I did it again. They signal to our bodies to make more collagen, hyaluronic acid, elastin, all the good stuff. So we love the peptides. So what causes our skin to wrinkle and age? A lot of changes happen as we get older, that the dermal layer becomes thinner as we're making less collagen and the elastin wears out. The sebaceous glands produce less sebum. I did not just say that. Does anyone say sebum, which is the oil? And this, the area between the dermis and epidermis starts to shrink, right? So we want it to thicken up. And then less blood is made available and fewer nutrients make it to the outer layer of the skin. So it starts making it more fragile. So now we're going to look what happens to our skin as we age. So on the left, we have younger skin. On the right, we got aging skin. Okay. So see that the top part here, let's look at the epidermis. I'm on the left here. That's what it looks like in young, healthy skin. We have it's thick. It's not jaggedy. As we age, it starts to look more jaggedy, right? And it gets thinner. So if you were to look at it under a microscope, that's what it looks like. So when we're, say, in our 20s, our epidermis turns over completely every 28 days. So we always have new skin. As we age, it takes longer and longer and longer for that epidermis turnover. So that's when it starts to get thinner, and I call it more jaggedy. So what we want to do is gently exfoliate, and I'll teach you how to do that. You don't need a scrub, so that you're increasing your cellular turnover, and you're producing more new skin. So when you start to get those skin cells to gently flake off, and you use the right kind of products, and you have the right diet, and you're taking care of your skin, then you get like thicker skin and it's smoother. So we want to, that's what we can do, the epidermis. Now remember, I told you that the dermis is where everything's going on. So look at the difference here. On the left side, we got all kinds of hyaluronic acid. On the right side, we don't have as much. Same thing with the elastin. So they're starting to kind of break and get more fragile, right? The collagen's starting to atrophy. So these are things that happen as we age. I'm not saying this so we get sad. I'm just saying this so that we're knowledgeable. And then we can talk about things we can maybe do about it, right? Okay, so here's some tips and tricks, kids. So optimally, what we want to do is get our body to naturally make more collagen, hyaluronic acid, and elastin. We'll talk about how to do it. So here's some real practical world common sense things, but these are just friendly reminders to do them. Use a lip balm and use a sunscreen every day. Sunscreens, a lot of people say, I use an 85, I use 120. I'm like, does not matter. That is a marketing gimmick. Anything over 35 to 40, it's not going to matter. So don't worry about the how big that SPF is, as long as you get to that level. What we do want to be aware of are the active ingredients. So 2 active ingredients are extremely important: titanium dioxide, okay, and zinc oxide. I know you're all like, oh, the zinc oxide, I used to put that on my nose and I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I don't want to wear that. There's a bunch of companies out there that make that, make it with a little tint to it, okay? But those 2 active ingredients are the most important thing. you know, you got to drink a lot of water, right? I'm always drinking a big glass like this. A, I talk a lot. You know, you got B, you really want to hydrate yourself. So you hydrate your body from the inside out and the outside in. You can drink gallons of water, and that'll do up to like 30% of it. You still got to topically feed your skin hydration. But we want to drink a lot of water. Want to wear a hat. I wear a lot of hats. They're cute, but mainly they keep that sun off your face, which is super important. Sunglasses are important. Don't take those long hot showers. They're killers for your skin. They will dry your skin out. When you get out of the shower, you got a good 60 to 90-second window to get all that moisturizer on your skin because your skin's still wet. Your pores are wide open from that shower. So get those moisturizers on as fast as you can, especially the face. I get those serums on my face the second I get out of the shower because that is when you're going to get optimal absorption and penetration, okay? Humidifier. Got to get a humidifier. We have two. My husband's an engineer. He scared the hell out of me when we first moved out to Colorado because he basically, during COVID, I was like, my hair's all breaking off. Skin's bad. I got to have a humidifier now. So all of a sudden the water's all turned off because he decided to install one of those humidification systems. I'm probably saying it wrong, throughout the whole house. So I was freaked out because you couldn't get water at the store. So I was like literally making buckets of water and setting them all over the house. He's like, what? I go, I don't know, the water's coming back on, Jeff. So I want to make sure we have water. But what we want to do is everybody get one, at least get one for your bedroom. We have even though we have this humidifier that goes through the whole house, we still have a 2-gallon humidifier in the bedroom. And I want you to know it goes through 2 gallons every night. So you gotta have a humidifier because it really helps with hydration for your skin. Antioxidant rich foods increase collagen production. Okay. Try to wear clothes that aren't irritating and try to not use irritating laundry detergents. That all makes your dry skin more sensitive and worse. Okay. And try to adopt a daily skincare routine. Now, it does not have to be complicated. We can dumb it down to cleanse and moisturize if we have to and use the sunscreen. If it has to be that simple, that's fine. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to show you some of my suggestions. Okay, here you go. So morning and night. First of all, you got to wash your face. I do a lot of festivals, and I can tell you at least 20% of the people look me in the eye and tell me they don't wash their face. And I know more people don't do it because they're lying to me. You got to wash your face. So it's important to use a very hydrating cleanser. We're not using dial soap. We're not using something that's going to strip our skin and make it feel tight, right? We want to really gently hydrate our skin morning and night. You got to do it before you go to bed, okay? Morning. Everybody on the planet needs a good vitamin C product, okay? You got to. Vitamin C in combination with the sunscreen I talked about will really do a number on preventing you from spots. I particularly like a product that's got vitamin C, vitamin E, alpha tocopherol, and a ferulic acid because that will stabilize the C. Vitamin C products are very unstable. They don't last a long time because air oxidizes them. Sunlight will oxidize them. So you got to keep them in a cool, dark place, and you got to have the proper packaging where you're not taking the top off every time and exposing it to air. Also, if you, I'm a nerd, read some research. Niacinamide is also a great ingredient. I find it's best to layer them because when I make products, if you put niacinamide in a vitamin C product, it can neutralize it, the acidity. But niacinamide is another powerhouse ingredient for sunspots and prevention. Personal story, when I moved to Colorado, I developed a stripe of hyperpigmentation down the right side of my face because my husband was driving all the time. If you're a driver, you're going to get more on the left side of your face. Comes in through the window. I don't care if it's an overcast day, get the vitamin C and the sunscreen on, okay? And niacinamide if you can do it. I also take niacinamide internally. And I haven't had a new spot on my face in 5 years. So it will prevent them as well. Hyaluronic acid morning and night. You got to do hyaluronic acid. You just do not want to be dehydrated, okay? We talked about peptides or these short amino acid chains. They're going to make your body produce more hyaluronic acid, collagen, and elastin. Wear sunscreen and moisturizer. That's morning, my favorite ingredients. Night, you got to cleanse for bedtime. Who's too tired to do it at bedtime and says, I don't want to do it? Nobody? I'm one of those people. Yeah. I start drinking wine, not every night. Okay, don't judge. or or like watching a movie and I'm sleepy. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to wash my face now. It's gonna wake me up before I go to bed. Just do it after dinner. Just do it after dinner. It's over with. You don't have to think about it. Okay. You got to gently exfoliate because you want to increase that cellular turnover, right? So it's going to make that epidermis turnover faster, and then it reveals the fresh new baby skin. It's a little pink at first, and it's brand new, and it looks much younger and glowier, right? And when that happens, all of your products work better. So if your skin's feeling a little dull, you need to exfoliate, but I don't want you getting a scrub out, scrubbing, because that's too abrasive for your skin and it can break capillaries, and we don't need to do that. Again, hyaluronic acid day and night. Can't get enough hyaluronic acid. Peptides, talked about that. Let's do those morning and night, especially at night. By the way, all the magic's happening at nighttime. Now, nighttime is when our skin cells turn over. So we want to speed up the cellular turnover. We want all these products to work their magic while you're sleeping. They still work effectively during the day, but something special about nighttime. And also when you're doing like any kind of alpha hydroxy acid, which I do like a good alpha hydroxy acid at bedtime for an exfoliator, that also is any of those are going to come with a sunburn warning. So you want to do those at night, not in the morning. If you want to use a retinol product, you do it at night. It can also thicken your skin and increase collagen and elastin production, and always a moisturizer. Okay. You can hydrate your skin without making it oily. A lot of people are afraid if they hydrate their skin, they think you got to use oil or something that's going to make their skin greasy. For example, I don't want to be, I'm not be salesy, but most of our selling products are water-based serums with hyaluronic acid. So you can plump your skin up with hydration without making it oily. So here's
I'm just going to let you know real quick. We have about 10 more minutes and I'll need about 2 minutes at the end just to
I'm almost
do
done. Okay, I'll wrap it.
But you're doing great. This is fascinating.
I don't want to bore anybody. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, not at all.
This is Anita. This is her little skincare routine. We're almost finished. So we're going to cleanse. She uses a lactic acid product at night. It's very mild. So notice she's got brighter skin. It didn't show up as good on this particular slide. We want to hydrate with hyaluronic acid. It's going to plump and smooth your skin, protects your skin with the CE ferulic acid. And there's an anti-aging product with niacinamide, peptides, DMAE, and finally moisturizer and a sunscreen. Here's some before and after pictures. I show these not to say, oh my God, my products are great, but to show that you're never too old to change your skin. So I hear this all the time. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old. Look at the lines between these ladies' eyebrows. Look at the eyes. Look at the lines around the lips and the nasolabial folds. I'll blow through those. Okay. Just because we're almost finished. You can always make your skin healthier, whatever your age is. Okay. That's it. So if you want to know more, first of all, you can ask me questions now if you want. We have a website, generationsskincarellc.net. My phone number is 314, still St. Louis. I don't want to change my number. I'm too old. 283-6290. We have a shop and you can schedule an appointment. I will be there for a week, from February 29th to March 6th. If you want to come see me, you can send me an email. You can ask me for a discount code if you're a first time customer. And we pay for shipping costs for purchases over $70. So I don't have to be in Colorado to ship to you. And that's it. So I know I talked a lot. Sorry if it's too much information. And I'm here for questions if you want to ask me anything.
And this is Audra. I would just like to give her a testimonial. I met Anne through the Conifer Chamber originally last April or May, and I started using her products shortly after we met, and I've noticed a huge difference. And the other thing, this is just a little tip, if you have out-of-town company coming in and you want to give them a nice little goodie bag, she will make up like little travel size serums for them just to try. I did that for my girlfriends. They absolutely loved it. I'm telling you, her products, they work. If you use them and you use them consistently, they work. So thank you, Anne.
Well, thank you,
I'm
Audra. I didn't
definitely,
expect it.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm definitely interested in learning more. Luckily, I'm very blessed. I've always done sunscreen and stuff because I was a bad sun bunny in the 80s and I get dermatology checkups every 2 years. But I definitely
Smart.
have the fun driver's side skin spots,
Sure.
and tags and things that are starting, and I'd love to learn more.
Yeah. And the thing that will change your skin with take all those tips into consideration. It's not just about skin products, right? But it is important to have a good routine. Make it simple for you. I do my whole routine and probably, I don't know. Like if I were to show you real quick, not to be, oh, I already turned my thing off. Can you see this? Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
this right here is my best seller. This is a fan favorite. It's called the Trio, and they're serums. So they're all color coded. This is a small one, but this is the morning one, and it's got the vitamin C. There's a really expensive company that makes a product called SkinCeuticals, vitamin C, E, ferulic acid. So basically, we knocked that brand off. It made it healthier and better. So their 1 ounce bottles, $182 an ounce. And
my gosh.
it's a bigger bottle. Mine's $38.95. And if you buy it as part of the Trio, the whole thing's $33 a piece. It's $100. So this
Wow.
one,
Okay.
and we ours are healthier. We take out the propylene glycol, which is antifreeze, and we don't use that. And the phenoxyethanol, I use a natural preservative called lactobacillus ferment. So we have the same exact active ingredients that they do. We have hundreds of SkinCeuticals customers because ours is better and more affordable, and in an airless pump packaging, so it keeps the air out. And then this is an anti-aging serum called Glow, and it's got the niacinamide, the DMAE, it's got all the peptides that tighten and lift, and they all have 2 kinds of hyaluronic acid. And this last one at nighttime is the exfoliating serum. It smells like roses and lavender, and you do that before you go to bed. And you'll just notice over the next few days, it looks like more dirt's coming off on your washcloth. So you're just gently exfoliating. You're not scrubbing too hard, just like a lift. So it's the trifecta for spots because you got the vitamin C in this product, the niacinamide in this product, and the lactic acid. When you're lifting off, you're getting the spots to come off. So that's why it works so well. And then this is our moisturizer called Grace. And I have a gentle cleanser. So not to be salesy, but that's kind of, if you want to change your skin, the Trio will do it. These 3 products right here. I always say start with the Trio. You can always add other products on, but it's kind of a powerhouse.
Is there
Cool.
sunscreen in your moisturizer?
Now I want there to be, but here's the scoop on it. If I do a sunscreen, because there's so much skin cancer out there, we have to go through FDA legal regulatory. It's probably going to take us about 5 years. So we have to make the decision if we're going to go through that costly process or if I'm just going to recommend a moisturizer. I'll tell you, I use one that I get on Amazon called Coats, C-O-T-Z. It's tinted. It's 40 SPF. It's got the titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. It's not that I don't want to do it. I want to do it, but it's going to cost us a lot of money and time to do it. So I have to decide if we're able to do that as a small company. Oh, by the way, I just signed a lease for a lab. So when we get back home, we're going to have a lab in the same building as our shop. So that's pretty exciting because right now I have a lab at home. So every year when we kind of grow, we're blown up online, and I'm very blessed for that. But it's because when you have good products, people keep buying them, and I'm very, very grateful. But they do work. So now I'll be able to make the products in the lab and just take them down the hall to the shop. So we're pretty stoked.
Very cool. Thank you so much. Does anybody else have questions?
I had a quick question. And this might be better for me to talk to you about on my own.
Yeah.
But I'm in my 30s now. I've had really bad chronic acne since I've been 13, and you're gonna hate this, but I'm on Accutane, which if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's basically a poison for your skin.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but yeah, people have bad reactions to it.
I took it
Go
as
ahead.
well. I took it.
I was just wondering, like, what would you recommend, like, skincare wise while I'm on it?
How long have you been on it?
Only 2 weeks, but 5 months is what I'm going to be on it for.
Just be real careful. My son, and I know other people, it can really affect believe it or not, it can give a lot of people for side effects have problems with depression and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, we have a philanthropic arm called the Inner Glow Initiative. So we donated most recently to Resilience 1220. So check out our website because the outer glow and the inner glow are equally important. So of course, my initial concern is I don't want it to affect your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful with that. have you tried good skincare products? I
Mhm.
mean,
I've
okay.
tried dietary changes. I've tried all kinds of skin products. I've literally gone through everything in the last like 20 years. So
Okay. Well, I would
Mm.
suggest a good lactic acid product at nighttime and a very,
Okay.
very, very hydrating product because you've got the oily skin. You're in a very dry climate. What people don't realize is that dryness it clogs your pores. So what we want to do with hydrating products and lactic acid is open up those pores, and you're going to purge it first because you got to get the stuff out. It's kind of beneath your skin. But we've had a lot of success with helping people with acne. So before you really commit long-term to Accutane, be super, make absolute sure that that's what you want to do. You can still use great skincare products. There's no reason not to. Just really, really think about, pay attention to your mental health. That's all I'm going to say. Just really be mindful.
I have to say thank you for helping resilience. I lost my husband to brain cancer 6 years ago, and Heather, who started Resilience, was my grief counselor way back then. And she has swapped over to doing everything with Resilience now, and I volunteer with them. That's an amazing organization.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank
That's
you
cool
for that.
that you do that.
Well, you know what? What's the point of making money like it did in pharma? And what's the point if you can't give back? So we're
Yep.
blessed to do it. And if you have recommendations we donate to mental health organizations, community-based mental health organizations. So, I get booked out, but if y'all have ideas for that, reach out to me and I'll definitely look into that.
Cool. And just so you know too, I don't know how much you know yet. One of my quick announcements, we're going to be gearing up for all of our booth events. Everybody's getting together. Steph and I, Pat, Deb, we're going to get together, organize things. As part of your dues, you can sign up for a spot in a Mountain Women in Business booth to have your products there to do whatever without having the expense of having your own booth. Some of our members choose to have their own booths also.
I have to have my own booth.
Too much
But
stuff.
thank you.
But just so you know, we're going to have a list, and we'll start getting that all geared up for spring too.
That's
It's
awesome.
free to any of our members.
Thank
Does
you.
anyone else have questions? Announcements? There are a ton of our new members and old members that are starting to, Deb lit a fire under everybody to have us all start hosting events. I'm going to do canvas painting. Tara's going to do a goat hike. There are a lot of new events popping up. All you have to do is reach out to Deb and let her know when and where, and we'll get it on the website. So if you go to mountainwomeninbusiness.com under the events, all those new things that are popping up are going to be listed so we can socialize and get to know each other better. We've grown so much. I think we're up to 114 now. We had 25 members when I became president back in 2018 is when I became president. So from about 2014 to 2018, there were about 25 of us, and now there's over 114, I think. So please forgive me if I haven't had one-on-one time with everybody. We're trying to get to know everybody better, but we're so thrilled to have everyone and be growing like we are. And if you have an event coming up, a special with your business that you want me to promote, anything, the voting for Tara and for our other member that's I think she left, but just let me know and email me and I can post those things. We have 2 Facebook pages. We have Mountain Women in Business Facebook page, and we have a Mountain Women in Business supporting each other Facebook page. The first one's public, so everyone can learn about us. The second one is private, just for member only things, so we can share amongst ourselves. Anybody else have stuff today? Steph, Pat? No?
I don't. I'm going to stop recording. So.
Okay.
Mm.
How